In this selection from Chapter 31, little Amy Dorrit facilitates a visit from elderly Mr. Nandy, a resident of the workhouse, to her father, the most revered resident of Marshalsea Debtors' Prison. Although Mr. Nandy has visited Mr. Dorrit at Marshalsea before, the fact that Amy escorts him through London causes both her father and her sister Fanny much distress. Dickens highlights the prejudice that extends down through all social strata. Now it happened that the father of the Marshalsea was sauntering towards the lodge at the moment when they were coming out of it, entering the prison arm in arm. As the spectacle of their approach met his view, he displayed the utmost agitation and despondency of mind, and, altogether regardless of old Nandy, who, making his reverence, stood with his hat in his hand, as he always did in that gracious presence, turned about, and hurried in at his own doorway and up the staircase. Leaving the old unfortunate with a hurried promise to return to him directly, Little Dorrit hastened after her father, and on the staircase found Fanny following her, and flouncing up with offended dignity. The three came into the room almost together, and the father sat down in his chair, buried his face in his hands, and uttered a groan. "Of course," said Fanny. "Very proper. Poor afflicted pa." "What is it, father?" cried Little Dorrit, bending over him. "Have I made you unhappy, father? Not I hope." "You hope indeed, I dare say. Oh, you—" Fanny paused for a sufficiently strong expression. "You common-minded little Amy, you complete prison child." He stopped these angry reproaches with a wave of his hand, and sobbed out, raising his face and shaking his melancholy head at his younger daughter. "Amy, I know that you are innocent in intention, but you have cut me to the soul." "Innocent in intention!" the implacable Fanny struck in. "Low in intention! Lowering of the family in intention!" "Father!" cried Little Dorrit, pale and trembling. "I am very sorry. Pray forgive me. Tell me how it is that I may not do it again." "Hush, Amy," said the father, passing his pocket-handkerchief several times across his face. "I have done what I could to keep you select here. I have done what I could to retain you a position here. I may have succeeded, I may not. You may know it, and you may not. I have endured everything here but humiliation. That I have happily been spared until this day. But this day, this minute, I have keenly felt it." "Of course! How could it be otherwise?" exclaimed the irrepressible Fanny. "Careering and prancing about with a pauper." "But, dear father, I don't justify myself for having wounded your dear heart. No, heaven knows I don't." She clasped her hands in quite an agony of distress. "I do nothing but beg and pray you to be comforted and overlook it. But if I had not known that you were kind to the old man yourself, and took much notice of him, and were always glad to see him, I would not have come here with him, father. I would not indeed. What I had been so unhappy as to do, I have done in mistake. I would not wilfully bring a tear to your eyes, dear love," said Little Dorrit, her heart well nigh broken. The father of the Marshalsea took his younger daughter to his breast, and patted her head. There, say no more, Amy. Say no more, my child. I will forget it as soon as I can. I shall soon be able to dismiss it. It is perfectly true, my dear, that I am always glad to see my old pensioner, as such, and that I do extend as much protection and kindness to the bruised reed, I trust I may so call him without impropriety, as in my circumstances I can. It is not that I have seen my good Amy attentive and condescending to my old pensioner. It is not that hurts me. It is, if I am to close the painful subject by being explicit, that I have seen my child, my own daughter, coming into this college out of the public streets, smiling, arm in arm with a livery.